So I made a video where I mentioned that the Disney fairies don't use wands, and then someone commented that actually Tinkerbell uses a wand at the beginning of Disney DVDs when she touches the castle. And I think we're having a semantic problem as to what Disney fairies means. Because when I say Disney fairies, I'm referring to the brand Disney fairies started in 2005 about Tinkerbell and all of her friends living in Pixie Hollow. That Tinkerbell is a different version of Tinkerbell. It's kind of like comic books, how there's been Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and Tom Holland Spider-Man, and they're both Spider-Man, but they are different Spider-Man. It's like that with Tinkerbell. There's the Tinkerbell who was in the Peter Pan movie, haven't seen, have no interest in. And she's sassy and kind of pin-up, kind of mean. You get the sassy Hot Topic t-shirts of her with her arms crossed. That's one version of Tinkerbell. And then I would argue the second version of Tinkerbell is the Disney Parks Tinkerbell. She's a symbol of Disney and the magic of Disney and the Disney parks. And she seems generally pretty nice and inoffensive and doesn't really have a personality. That would be the Tinkerbell in the Disney Fast Play DVD thing. She would be up on the wire during the fireworks show. I would argue that's a different Tinkerbell than the Peter Pan Tinkerbell, though I guess you could argue that those two Tinkerbells are basically the same. And then there's the Disney Fairies brand Tinkerbell, and the Disney Fairies canon as to these fairies live in Pixie Hollow. They don't use wands. They have talents. And again, there's two versions of that. There is the book canon, which is what I grew up with and what I care about. And then there is the movie canon, which I think a lot more people are familiar with, which started with the Tinkerbell movie, where Pixie Hollow is split into areas for the 4 seasons, and the fairies are responsible for bringing the change of the seasons to the mainland, which is the human world. And back in the day, they argued that the book canon and the movie canon were the same, and the movies just take place really far in the past. I think they kind of gave up on that ruse. I think they were trying to get kids like me who were into the books to buy into the movie canon, because it's very different from the books. So they're like, well, it's different because it's in the past, and don't even worry about it. But I think when the movies started doing really well, they were like, we don't have to maintain this ruse that the books and the movies have anything to do with each other, and they sort of abandoned the books. So that's sort of the problem we're having, I think, the two of us, is there are 4 versions of Tinkerbell. And so when I say she doesn't use a wand, I mean within the Disney Fairies brand, none of the Disney fairies use wands. But it is, I agree, a little bit convoluted.